Okay, this is gonna be kind of a different video. It's gonna be what I got for Christmas, but like only the tech side. I'm not gonna show you guys like the clothes I got and stuff like that. So I got two main presents for Christmas that are tech related that I'll show you guys, and they're both right in front of your eyes. The first one would be a new monitor, which is probably my biggest gift and probably my favorite gift. It's a 24-inch Asus. You can see me unbox it with this annotation. And I also got 6 more gigs of RAM for the beast. So I'll go ahead, that's the first thing I'll demonstrate. I'll use Parallels to do that. I'll demonstrate that really nicely. It's kind of going to be like my Parallels video, my Parallels desktop review. You could, watch that if you'd like as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead, expose, and show you my about this Mac. As you can see, I now have 12 gigs of RAM. It's very nice. Trust me, if you ever have the chance to get a Mac or like a Hackintosh, anything with 12 gigs of RAM, it's heaven basically. Like, you can't top it off unless you really try. And that was the point of this machine. I mean, just because I'm gonna be honest, I don't use 12 gigs of RAM every day of my life, but it's nice to have that leeway. So I really do come close. Like, a lot of times I'll have Final Cut open to edit my videos. I'll have Windows running in a virtual machine with a video converter to use it with Final Cut Pro. While I'm listening to music, I'll have like Photoshop for the graphics for my videos and stuff like that. I really do use a lot of stuff at the same time with Parallels. So that really is like a very RAM intensive field of work right there. All that stuff going, like GarageBand too. I use GarageBand to make the little sound effects and stuff. So you have a lot going, and 12 gigs of RAM really does the job very nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna launch Parallels. So this will probably be the best way to give you guys an idea of what this RAM can do. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I'll boot up Windows 7 for you guys, and I'll just show you right now that it's running 4 cores out of my 8 and 4 gigs of RAM. So with that in mind, I'll set it to 6 just because I can. There, 6 gigs of RAM. Okay, and we'll start it up. You'll probably see it do the little flip-de-doo. There we go. As you can see, it switched my space down here, and now it'll do the little flippy-turny thingy-majiggy, and I'm not booting Windows. So you can see there, it's booting down there. Boots pretty fast. Meanwhile, I'll come up here and I'll show you as you see, my CPU usage spiked a little bit, but now I'm back down to normal. And with the 6 gigs of RAM being taken up by Windows, I have about 2.5 gigs free. But I'll go ahead and come down here. It is taking a little bit longer, probably because it saw the new amount of RAM, so it probably has to configure itself. But here I am at the Windows desktop, as you can see by the taskbar down here. Like I said, it's probably going to take it a second. See if the RAM has changed at all. Not really. Still a little over 2, not quite 2.5 gigs, but I still have some RAM free. So go ahead and launch the video converter. Come over here to computer. Yeah, this is still running kind of choppy still. It should clear up though. There's my little meter. There's the converter, and then here is this one. There you go. I have 6 gigs of RAM being used. That'd be interesting to do the rating. I should do that later. But anyways, you can see here I could drag stuff into here, have it converting. Meanwhile, I could have Final Cut open, or other stuff like that. It really does. It's very useful to have this amount of RAM. The average person doesn't need close to 12 gigs of RAM, but if you do like a lot of video editing, you do the music to it, all that stuff, you really do end up using the vast majority of it. And it's always nice to not have your RAM being topped off, to have that little bit of extra that your system can use for whatever. It's really nice. It does definitely give you some more performance. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut down this virtual machine. Keep an eye on it, as you can see, logging off. I'll probably do like that little turnaround thing back the other way. Oh, actually it didn't. Very cool. Alright, well, Parallels is done. So now, the second thing I got for Christmas, probably, like I said, my main gift would be this monitor. I'll go ahead and I'll throw up some videos, some pictures at the end of me, of just like kind of my setup. I'll see if I can get a good picture. I'll try my hardest, but the camera I got is pretty iffy. So, we'll try that. But I'll also include a link to Newegg, which is where it came from. It's for the exact one. It does full 1080p. It's a very good monitor. It has very sturdy build quality. The stand doesn't shake. It's actually a very, very nice monitor. It doesn't have a camera or anything built in, but I have mine that I use, so it works out. I have the PS3 hooked up through HDMI. Again, here's an annotation for that video if you want to watch me unbox it. I show the ports. It does have built-in speakers. They have absolutely no bass though. It's actually kind of funny to hear them, but I don't use the speakers obviously, but it does have the option for in and out for speakers. It has VGA, DVI, and HDMI. So I have the PS3 going through the HDMI and it looks gorgeous. I get full 1080p. It's great for movies. As you can see up here, I have my Playback. That's the name of the software. It's a media server. It's probably the best media server I've ever used. It's a great application. If you have a Mac OS X and you want a media server, I highly suggest it. But anyway, back to the point of this video. The PS3 looks absolutely gorgeous on this monitor. The games are very crisp. The movies, like, it's just nice. Cause I have my 19. If you can see here, this is my old monitor on the left here, and on the right is my new one. So you can see how much bigger that is. So you do get to see a lot more. Like if I have Final Cut open, my videos, like my preview and viewer window and everything, they could be bigger, while I still have my timeline nice and big. So you can really just arrange it a lot better. You can see more of what you're doing. It definitely boosts productivity to have a bigger monitor. And I used to have a CRT, but now it's my 19-inch. So you definitely get much more screen real estate. You probably won't be able to tell from this video because I'm just going to put it back down to 720p just for purposes of uploading. 1080p takes up a lot of space and my internet isn't that fast. So I'm just going to keep it all at 720, but it does give you a lot more space. But that's pretty much all I can say. I'll probably be doing an updated Hackintosh stress test with my doubled RAM, and I'll also probably be doing a review of this monitor. So you can go ahead and look forward to that. But for this video, if you have any questions, I'm at CPUKid on Twitter. I take replies, comments. I'd be appreciative if you give this video a thumbs up. Helps out a lot. And yeah, so thanks for watching.